Hey, good evening. It's 4th of July weekend, and tonight I'm going to do an overnight Boston butt cook. I've got two 7-pound Boston butts. I'm going to throw them on the smoker, probably cook them around 225, 230. I figure anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours per pound. So these will be on overnight. I figure anywhere from 14 to 16 hours for these to be done. So anybody that's going to do smoking, you're going to do a brisket, you're going to do pork butts, you're better off to get these done way early than to have people hanging around waiting for the food to be done. Because the longer this stuff can cook through to the proper temperature for internal temperature, the more the collagen breaks down and gives you a nice tender meat. You could blaze through one of these in 4 or 5 hours with high heat, but it doesn't give you the tenderness that you really want in the end. So I'm going to cook these overnight, and these will stay hot after you cook them. So you can always have your meat waiting on your guests instead of your guests waiting on the meat. So let's get these on the smoker and see how they do. I'm going to use a ThermalWorks smoke, and I have a gateway for an app. So I'm going to graph this cook because I want to show you guys the stall. Every big chunk of meat like this will stall, and they're all different. I've got two big old chunks of pork butt here, and I'm sure both of these aren't going to stall for the same amount of time. So I'm going to cook the biggest one until it hits 203, 205. And if you want to practice on smoking, try a pork butt. You can't kill a pork butt. I've cooked these by accident to 211, 212, and it still came out delicious. What makes a pork butt suck is when you undercook it. 180, 185. They're chewy and hard. So if you want to practice smoking, do a pork butt because you can't hurt it. You go over temperature, it'll be delicious. Trust me. Okay, let's get these on the grill. Okay, I got the two pork butts on there. We're going to monitor the temperature, grate temperature, grill temperature. I got the amazing smoke tube. That'll smoke for 4 hours because after 2 or 3 hours, the meat won't absorb any more smoke. I filled that tube with apple wood. All right, let's get this baby going. We'll be back in 16 hours. Hey, good morning with a cup of coffee. Okay, it's 8 a.m. I put those pork butts on last night, 8 p.m. It's 12 hours. One butt's at 181, the other pork butt's at 167. So it's coming up through, pushing through the end of that stall. So we'll just keep an eye on these. When they hit 205, they'll be done. Okay, we've got one pork butt hit 205. We'll go take that one off the grill. The other one has 13 degrees to go. Okay, here's pork butt number one. Boy, that thermometer goes in and out real nice. Now let this rest and cool off a little bit. This butt has rested for about a half hour. Oh man, look at that. Boy, did that come apart nicely or what? And I'll get in there with 2 forks and I'll finish chopping that up. Boy, man, that just smells so good. And that other butt, it's at 199. Look at this nice bark. We'll chop that up and get that in there too. Yeah. Oh man, that smells so, I wish I could smell it in here. All right, we'll be back. Okay, this is pork butt number 2. This one took 2 hours longer than the first one, even though they're the same weight, different shapes. We'll let this rest, we'll pull it. Okay, this is pork butt number 2. This one took 18 hours. Let's chop this up, see what we got. That has got such a terrific bark on it. Wow. This one came out really good too. We'll get some forks out and shred that bark in there and mix that in with everybody. Wow, look how juicy that is too. This is rested for about 45 minutes. Okay, pork butts are done. It's time to give these a taste test. I got my homemade Carolina style barbecue sauce, and I double checked the packaging on these pork butts. They were closer to 8 pounds. So the first one took 16 hours, the second one took 18, and the second one was more of a cube shape, where the first one was a little thinner and more spread out. Wow. Oh, that's good. My favorite part of these pork butts is this nice crunchy bark stuff, but it's only on the outside. You gotta kind of fight for it. Oh my Lord, I'm in heaven. I love pulled pork. Pulled pork is one of my favorites. So these 8-pound pork butts, one took 16 hours, one took 18 hours. There's a stall. I took these out of the refrigerator, put them on the grill. They started out at 42 degrees. It took 4 hours for them to hit 140, but then it took 8 hours for them to go from 140 to 170. And that's your stall zone. And every piece of meat is going to be different. These were close to the same size, but one stalled longer than the other. You're always better off to cook these early and keep them warm, because that stall, you cannot predict the stall. And the stall will kill your barbecue and make everybody lunatics because they're starving and the food isn't done. And you don't want to blaze through this kind of stuff because the meat will be tough in the end. If you want to practice smoking, I would use pork butts till you figure out how your grill works. Briskets, you can kill a brisket. You overcook a brisket, oh, they're terrible. But a pork butt, you're not really going to overcook a pork butt. You catch that. Like I say, I've cooked them to 211, 212 before, and they still came out good. Hey, I hope this helps somebody out trying to smoke something. And just for the record, I put this meat on that smoker, and I did not open that lid. I did not look at them. I didn't spritz them. I did absolutely nothing until that thermometer hit 205 and told me it was done. Because every time you open that lid and close that lid, you're losing heat, and you're probably adding 20, 30 minutes of cook time because that grill has to recover. Happy smoking. Cheers with a Stella Artois. These are delicious. And have a happy 4th. Thanks for watching.